So, Mr. Hrvoje from Croatia,
Yes.
what are you doing here at Artemis Poker Classic?
Oh, I'm protecting the poker game.
What is
Protecting against, yes, that they'll be protecting against cheating, for example. That's the most important protection.
what exactly is your job?
My job is to look at things that usually players are not looking to. So they are focused on their game. I'm focused on everything else. What's going on at the table? It means at the tables, because there are several tables.
Can you explain or make, for example, what it is?
I'm just looking if the game is regular, if there's no cheating in the sense of exchanging cards among players, stealing cards and use it later in better hand, any collusion among two or more players against others, and that's in general, that's it. Looking for players not to mark cards. If I see marked cards, I have to move the deck out, and that's it.
Did you do something like this on this tournament, on this poker series?
No, I may say that players are really good and regular, and I haven't noticed any serious cheating. Some collusion among players, standing and sitting and one each ear in each other, and from the same country, same city, and so on. But not a big deal, not big collusion.
What was the most ridiculous thing you have ever seen on the poker table?
What I ever seen, the most ridiculous thing? Oh, it's a tough question. Usually this is serious game and doesn't happen any really ridiculous things.
Like maybe two deuce of diamonds or some...
Yes, it happened. It actually happened, two same cards. When the deck changed and the guy obviously didn't notice it was the same back of the cards. And the guy didn't notice that we changed cards, but with the same color of the back.
The red and green.
Yes, and we didn't know, of course, and then showed up two cards. It was years ago at some poker table in Croatia. Showed up two very same cards at flop, of course, where you can see them, you know. It was disaster situation.
And what did you do?
We had to cancel the last game, of course. We had problem with people claiming their money back and so on. So it's always better to avoid. Even if you notice a kind of improper behavior from the players, it's always better to make it discreetly, not to approach him at the table and tell in front of everybody, just to move him a little bit aside and to resolve the situation with him. So it's always the scandal possible, you know. Better do it quietly. Just put him out, take his chips, put him out, do not explain to anybody what actually happened, and that's it.
Why you are watching only cash game, not tournaments?
Oh, there's a lot of less space on tournaments, because there's a random seating, you know. There's usually no collusion, because players do not decide where they're going to sit. And ideal positions at the table for any kind of cheating is mid three tables, number 4, 5, 6, you know, and they cannot choose because that's the closest to the dealer. If they steal the card, they just drop another card, like they dropped two, but they actually dropped
But
just one card.
The first place when you're sitting near the dealer, you can just put like the
No. They're just for stealing chips. That usually happens to cash game casinos where they have
rake
all the chips in the rake holder. Then people just love from the first position or ninth to just take some chips from the dealer actually.
Do dealers steal money from the casino, from this rake?
Sometimes happens sometimes, but that's easily avoidable to get them close without pockets, and then you're covered.
Have you ever seen the duet between dealer and the player?
Yes, of course. That's very common. That's the most common thing that
What did they do?
Dealer is picking, for example, dealer is picking at the first card. There's a technique for picking the first card of the deck, you know, before he starts dealing. And then he knows what's the first card. If that's a really great card, as ace, for example, then he just make a second deal, so-called second deal, and he deals the second card until he comes to his player, and then he deals the first card to him, that ace, and then just he follows up. Whatever happens afterward, he cannot, he ain't got any influence on the following, but he gets a nice advantage to his player.
Was something like this on this tournament? Or
No.
Totally clear.
No, dealers are really great. I'm following up all the time. They're really great.
But you are working for the casino, for the tournament manager, so
Of course.
it is. You're telling me because you want to be this truth, like, or you're the third part. What?
No, they're really good dealers. They're all experienced dealers working for the company for some time, a year, 2 or more years, and they're really great. I cannot see. I can say I've seen not one false move, what they're like picking on cards or some whatever, you know, or false shuffling or false cutting cards. That's all the possibilities for dealers. There's no control.
Are you 100% sure that if something will go wrong on the table which you are looking at,
Yes.
you will recognize this?
Yes, I think yes. Yes, I think yes,
So-
because there's always some signs of uncommon behavior of players looking at my side, looking in my direction, watching where I am actually, if I'm far away or close, and so on. But that's actually the reason that I'm hanging around all the time.
So it is impossible
It's
to cheat you.
practically very, very, very hard. Not to mention that I'm 27 years in poker and 30 years in casino business.
Thank you.
You're very welcome.